Welcome to Life L'Chaim. On today's show, we're in Rabbi Avi's Kosher kitchen, making some delicious smoked turkey ravioli in parv vodka cream sauce. Then we'll talk with Stacy Brenner about running a marathon for Holocaust survivors. We'll be right back after these messages.
Welcome to a very special To Life L'Chaim. We're in Avi's Kosher kitchen for a wonderful meal of smoked turkey ravioli in parv vodka cream sauce.
Exactly right.
It sounds great. I can't wait to get started.
Me either.
Let's go.
Okay, so first we're going to start by making our sauce.
Okay.
The reason we want to make our sauce first is because you want all the ingredients in your sauce to get together, to fester, to get to know each other. And, you know, it's kind of like going to a cocktail party. Right. You ever go to a cocktail party? And you walk in there, you know a couple of people. By the time the party's over, you know a lot of people. It's the same thing. You want the tomatoes to meet the basil to meet the oregano to meet the garlic, everybody to get together. So by the time this thing has had a time to just have a lot of love into it, everybody's friends.
Well, I know why the sauce is going to be cooking. We're going to be sitting here going, come on, I want to taste it. I want to taste it. So
well, we'll do a little bit of that.
Good.
So the first we're going to start by just heating up our pan.
Right.
Okay. We heat it on a medium to low heat. I'm going to put in a little bit of extra virgin olive oil. Okay. And
I won't ask why why the olive oil is virgin. I won't ask that question.
I could tell you, but this wouldn't be a family show.
Right.
We'll just roll that around our pan a little bit like that. Want to get our oil nice and hot. We're going to take some onions, about half an onion, and dice it. Okay. When you dice an onion, a couple things to be aware of. First off, know where your knife is, know where your fingers are.
Right.
Don't let them meet.
Right.
Okay.
And you got all five, so you've been
So
doing it
far.
for a while. All right.
So we're going to cut into our onion a little bit lengthwise.
See, now I would just naturally go down right away and then chop after that.
Yeah,
this is
that's
a chef's
one way
secret.
You can do it, but this is just a quick way to do it. Then you're going to make your cuts here. You're not going to go all the way to the end of the onion, but just here. Again, watch your fingers. Now you're going to slice it. Keep your fingers tucked in. Thumb on this side. You're going to push the onion to your knife, and just use the back end of your knife. See this?
That's a great trick.
And look at those onions, all diced up. Okay.
Right.
And I'm going slow because you want to make sure you don't cut yourself.
Right, you haven't even nicked your knuckles yet.
Now this part of the onion will do exactly what you're saying. We'll just come in and do that, we'll come in and do that, okay? And there we got a nice sliced, diced onion. And you could do this if you want to make them a little bit finer. You can do that as well. Again, fingers out of the way.
Right.
Okay.
Is there any special type of onion, any differences to an onion?
There are. You know, I like to use a Vidalia onion. It's a sweeter onion. It puts some natural sweetness in the sauce because when we're going to use tomatoes, tomatoes have a little bit of acidity in them. Mm-hmm. And the acidity, you want to balance that with some sweetness, okay? So some of that can come right here. Now watch yourself. We're going to just get our onions going.
Right.
It may seem like
that's a magical sound right there.
I love this sound. Okay, and we're using olive oil because I love the flavor, particularly because this is in a Mediterranean type of dish. The olive oil is, you know, first off, that's where olives are. You know,
right.
Italy, Israel, you know, all known for their olives, all Mediterranean countries. And we're just gonna let that sit in there and get a little bit happy. Okay. While that's going, we're gonna take some garlic. You want to try one of these?
No. I love it in food, not alone.
I've got 5 cloves of garlic. Okay. And we're just gonna slice them up a little bit like so. Mm-hmm. Okay. One of the things you can do is you come back and chop them a little bit finer. What I like to do, by the way, when I do this, I like to have some like this chopped nice and fine. Put that in there. Okay. And then I like to take some of them and just keep them a little bit bigger. It just puts a little bit different texture into the sauce so that it's not all so uniform. Okay?
Right.
We put that in there, okay? And we've got our heat kind of low because garlic will burn quickly, okay? The onions in there kind of temper it out. And you can see some of the onions are already starting to brown up for us, okay? We're gonna just let that go a little bit until we really smell that garlic flavor.
Okay.
Once you really smell that garlic, guess what we're gonna do?
We're going to add the tomatoes.
You got it. You got it. Awesome.
I'm glad I answered that right.
Best. We're adding the tomatoes because putting the tomatoes in kind of stops that garlic from cooking so much, okay?
Don't put me on the spot like that again.
That's okay. I want to show you something, by the way. We've got some oregano and we've got some basil. In a minute, I'm going to show you a little bit of a workaround on this. And by the way, when you're doing this sauce, if you're a busy mom, you know, and you don't have time to start going from scratch, my book, there's nothing wrong with getting a nice jar of sauce that you like and using that and then doctoring from there, okay?
Now, are all the ingredients so far, are they kosher to begin with, or did you have to do any preparation on the ingredients?
Question. They're all kosher to begin with. Onions are kosher to begin with. Garlic is kosher to begin with. Now, the diced tomatoes, we want to buy one that is kosher. Now, tomatoes inherently, raw tomatoes are kosher, okay? But the diced tomatoes themselves, when they're in it, once they're in a can and they've had things like citric acid added to them and things like that, you want to get one that's got what we call a hechsher, a kosher symbol. You know, OU, OK, there's a lot, there's hundreds of them. And that's something, you know, consult your rabbi or whatever into that. One thing you should know when you know that it's kosher, okay, there are certain inspections that are done over and above the USDA in a kosher product, you know, which I'll explain to you with the basil in a minute.
Okay.
I smell that garlic and I want to make sure
get it in there.
I get this in there, okay? So this is,
oh, that's a great smell right there. That's perfect.
yeah, you wish you had smell of it,
right?
So let that get in there and just cook down now, okay? Now,
are you getting hungry?
I'm going to take some fresh oregano here, okay? I've got some fresh oregano. This is right off of the plant, okay? We trimmed it off. I want to show you something, though, and I got some fresh basil here as well.
Okay.
One of the things I want to show you is that if you don't have time to go and take the fresh leaves, because what we do in a kosher kitchen is once you have a leafy vegetable like this, it has to be washed and checked for bugs. Because we have a halakha, a law, that we can't eat bugs. Not allowed to eat bugs,
right?
Okay? That's what I was getting at with the tomatoes. You know that there's no bugs in here. So here, you wash them, you hold it up to a light, and you inspect it, okay?
Okay.
All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to take our oregano and just chop up a little bit of oregano here. Okay, and we're going to do the same with the garlic in a second. And we're just going to pop that right in there. Okay, and smell that oregano.
It's fantastic.
It's
really, I'm right over it. It just is fantastic.
That's why I like to use the fresh ingredients. We're going to reserve a couple of those on the side.
And this is another little trick you do, that you roll them together.
You roll them up, just sort of like you're rolling a...
I was going to say, this takes you back to your college days, right?
Yeah, that's it, college days.
College, right?
Cut that up, and we take our basil. And it's a nice sweet basil. That goes in there. And you can smell that. We're going to just let all that come in.
Oh, my goodness.
Smell that?
It's fantastic.
Okay. Just turn the heat up just slightly. By the way, if you want to get the fresh vegetable taste, the fresh herb taste, without, you know, going through the whole thing, you could buy these little, there's different brands and stuff like that. They come cubed, frozen, and they're fresh.
Oh,
and
very
they're
good.
Wonderful. Garlic, basil, so on and so forth, okay? What we're going to do now for the vodka cream part is we're adding some tofuti sour cream, or a parv sour cream, okay? Because we're going to be using this with smoked turkey, and we know we can't mix meat and milk.
And there's a reason why you keep that in the container versus having it prepped out.
Absolutely, because there's also in the kosher laws, we want to make sure that when you're cooking something with meat and you're using something that resembles dairy but is not really dairy, that it's clearly labeled. You know, for instance, if you're using almond milk, which is the classic example, that, you know, you place some almonds around, okay? You can see as we mix that in, the sauce is going to become kind of a pink sauce now.
Right.
Okay,
it smells great. We're going to take a break here, and when we come back, we're going to cook the raviolis, mix them together, and have a wonderful taste.
Great.
Okay? We'll be right back. We're back in Avi's Kosher Kitchen, where today's meal is smoked turkey ravioli with parv vodka cream sauce.
Exactly.
So before the break, we completed the cream sauce with one left ingredient.
Absolutely. You notice it's parv vodka cream sauce, and we did not add
the vodka.
We're going to do that at the end.
That's 2 questions I've gotten right so far.
And now we've got some ravioli. We've already got some going so that you can see it, but I've got some pre-made over here that will cook. Now, I'm going to show you first how to make the ravioli itself. Okay. I've got right here some dough. This is dough you could buy frozen, which is exactly what I did. You can make your own, but why?
Why?
This is easy. I've got a smoked piece of smoked turkey. I usually smoke my own turkey. Unfortunately, you guys came at the last minute. So
right. So we just showed up with cameras and everything.
There you go. We cut a nice slice, and we just basically diced this turkey. Okay. We cut it a little bit on the thick side, but not too thick. If you don't want to go through this, you could go to your local deli, and they'll cut the slice for you thick, and then you just dice it up. Very simple. You know, you could again go as small as you want, whatever.
Right.
Take some of your turkey, put it right in the middle of your dough. Okay. If you want to add something to it, like a little piece of basil or something to put in there, that's fine. Fold your dough over. Take a fork. Just smash down your sides and put it over this way so you can see it.
That's how they get that nice feather there.
Okay. And there's all sorts of fancy cutters and stuff like that you
Right.
could buy. But why? You know, everybody has a fork. And that's it. There's our ravioli. Now I've got some cooking here. Do you want to try one?
Huh? I certainly want to try when we're all done. What are you kidding? You think I'm standing here for my health?
Okay, so we're going to take our raviolis out. Now what we do is these have been boiling in some water with a little bit of olive oil and some salt, sort of, I guess, like a kreplach would.
Right. And the oil not only keeps the heat down and adds a little flavor. And you use the same virgin olive oil that you did in the sauce.
Extra virgin.
Extra virgin, right.
I like to go all the way.
Right.
I've got a little bit of garlic spinach here that I made before, and we can talk about that in another segment.
Okay.
Okay. So while we've got that, our garlic spinach, let me take this off the burner. Okay. And then we put our sauce back on the burner.
Nicely done.
Because if you remember correctly, we forgot
to add the vodka.
Okay. So we're going to add to this about a dollop, quarter of a cup, half a cup of vodka, depending.
2 or 3 shots.
2 or 3 shots. Depends on your taste.
And vodka's naturally kosher?
You know, vodka itself, most unflavored vodkas are going to be kosher. I can't tell you every single one. But flavored vodkas, you need to make sure that the flavoring is kosher, and that's by checking with your local certifying agencies and so on and so forth.
Right.
Okay, on that. The one thing that you have to be aware of on Passover, on Pesach, vodka generally is not kosher, even though you think, what's wrong with it? It's made from wheat, or it's made from corn, things like that. But there are vodkas that are kosher for Passover. You can buy them, you got to look. This brand has one that's kosher for Passover, and we do a great barbecue at my house the last day of Passover. Right. We make cosmopolitans with the vodka, and everybody goes crazy because you go, it's Passover. How can I do that?
Right. It's beautiful.
Kosher for Passover vodka. So we've got our sauce. Basically, all we're going to do.
Sauce smells great. It's been marinating for quite a bit right now.
Put it right over our raviolis like so.
See, our camera crew has left the cameras. They're moving towards us as we speak.
And there we go. If you get a little bit, there's a little bit of water or something that you just get a little like that, right to your plate. And your family will think it's wonderful.
And when you're thinking of servings, how many raviolis do you normally?
I like to start with like 3 or so. You know, it's because it's a little bit. It's a lot of dough, so it's a little bit more filling.
Right.
You know.
And all dough is kosher?
No, you got to, again,
okay.
Generally, most flour is kosher and so on. It's best, you know, in this, where we live now, here in America, it's so easy to go and find something with a kosher. It doesn't cost you any more money, but to find with the kosher symbol, like I said, the OU, the OK, and there's a lot of them. So if you're going to go for it, why not? Because you know that there's further inspections, and particularly if you're somebody that's lactose intolerant. Okay, for instance, this dish is great for somebody that's maybe not kosher, but is lactose intolerant. You get all the benefit of the flavor,
right?
But without the without the dairy.
Right.
In fact,
we got about.
Let me hand this to you, and you
want to do it.
Tell me what you.
Well, I want to get them all together. Oh.
Good.
Holy cow, that is really, really, really good.
Good.
I'm going to take another piece because you won't give it to me, so I'm going to take it.
Besides, I'm not used to feeding
Fantastic.
I'm only sorry I have one fork.
Right, right. Aren't you going to taste your own? Because you only got one fork. You got to use a spoon.
I got a spoon. We'll
Very good.
And before we taste, we always say a bracha. So this is a mezonot item. We say
Right.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei b'nei mezonot.
Right. Very good.
Yep.
And the spinach, why spinach as a side dish?
I like spinach as a side dish because one of the things that I think is really kind of cool to do is to take the ravioli and you serve it, put it right on top of the bed of spinach, a little more sauce on top of it, and a nice dressing on it is to take a little bit of the basil, fresh basil, put it right on top like so.
Well, let me get one final bite.
Yeah.
We're breaking. We got to go. So I'm going to get one final bite. We're going to put this recipe on our website. So I'm going to have one taste of the ravioli with the spinach, and we'll bid adieu to you. With us in studio today is Stacy Brenner. And Stacy, you have a wonderful story. You went from 0 to 26.2 miles in no time, in 16 weeks.
16 weeks.
You ran a marathon. You ran the New York City Marathon this past year to the benefit of the Blue Card.
Right.
First of all, tell us what the Blue Card is.
The Blue Card is an organization based out of New York that raises funds for destitute Holocaust survivors. And they help them in many different ways: medical expenses, food, they provide medicine, people come out and help them with their physical care.
We previously had on Masha Gershon, who talked a lot about what the Blue Card provides for destitute Holocaust survivors. And your story is one of overcoming. You decided to run this marathon. You obviously are very fit, and we're very fit. And the New York City Marathon is a great fundraiser for the Blue Card. Right. So how did you come to make that decision to run on behalf of the Blue Card?
Well, my sister is the co-captain of the Blue Card team that runs for New York City Marathon. And she said to me, you know, why don't you just run it with us? And I'm like, no, run a marathon, I could never do that. And she said, yes, you can. And she signed me up. And that was it. She says, you know, if you're going to run, you got to run for this charity. And it meant a lot to my parents and to myself that I should run for them. And I did.
So your motivation was to run for the Blue Card, and
right.
There's a great, obviously they do a lot of great work on behalf of Holocaust survivors and destitute Holocaust survivors.
Okay.
And your motivation comes from your family is third generation Holocaust survivors. And I know you told a very meaningful story to me that I'd like for you to share with our audience.
So my father's parents came from Lithuania to South Africa, but they left behind their parents and their siblings. And my grandmother's brother had 6 children. And when he decided to leave Lithuania in 1940, he hired a cab to drive him out of the city, him and his family. And they all got in the car, and when they were pretty close to the border, the mother realized that she left her child sleeping over at a friend's house. And she said to me, we have to go back, we have to go get him. And the father said, don't worry, you guys go on to the rendezvous point. I will meet you there. I will go and get our son. And he did. He went back into the city, got their son, and when they got to the rendezvous point, they weren't there. And he looked for them, and he found out that they were killed because the taxi driver took them right to the camps. And he found out that they had died on one of those holes that they had dug up, those graves, those mass graves, and shot them right into the graves. He subsequently went on to Russia to fight for them. And they landed in Israel, and they live there today.
So the experience of running and those thoughts that when you have 4 hours to go through, what are some of the thoughts that register through your mind as you're on the streets of New York?
it was such an amazing experience. I mean, the crowds were phenomenal, and I was listening to my music and clapping everyone's hands, and people. I had my name written on my T-shirt, so people were cheering, "Go Stacy, go!" And I had pink runner socks, and people were saying, "We love your socks!" And it was amazing.
And the Blue Card has a whole team.
Yes.
With respect to this, did you run with others for the whole 26.2 miles?
I did not. We didn't even train together. They came from all over the world, from South Africa, and there were 67 runners in total, and we all raised funds to run the New York City Marathon for the Blue Card, and there was a total of $200,000 raised for them.
Very good.
So it was during the training at 5 o'clock in the morning when I would get up, I was like, oh my God, I don't feel like doing this, but I knew what I was running for, and it made it so much more meaningful.
And so the training regimen, how did it begin? You know, how did it finish? What was exciting about it?
Nothing's exciting about training for it, but you know, I hired a trainer, a coach, and he gave me a weekly schedule that I had to follow. Track Tuesdays, tempo runs Thursdays, long runs Saturdays, and yeah, you got to be motivated to stick it out and finish each day strong. And there were some days where I didn't feel like finishing, and there were some days where I felt euphoric, that knowing that I could do this. So it was a wave of emotions.
And I know running for the Blue Card has opened up your mind and heart to individuals, obviously true individuals in our community that are hurting and need help. Share with some of those experiences that you've come across. You
know, these people have sacrificed so much and lost so much that a friendly hello is a great thing.
And you've been in touch with them. You've come to this information from people in Jewish Family Services.
Yes.
So they've told you that there are these many Holocaust survivors in our community.
Yes.
And so I think it's incumbent upon all of us to reach out and maybe touch and find someone who we can all visit on our own time.
Absolutely.
So do you have plans to run another marathon?
Absolutely.
And what's your mindset on?
So there's the ING Miami Marathon coming up on the 29th of January, and I've set my hearts on doing that one.
Right, and you've gone from never being a runner to now running a marathon and love running.
Right, I mean there's no better feeling crossing that finish line and getting a medal on your chest for all that hard work.
Right. So do you constantly train today just running?
You know what, I'm not. I'm right now cross training. So get my body strong again, because it breaks yourself, breaks you down running a marathon, and you got to recover and trust the process and start again.
Stacy, how do people get in touch with the Blue Card?
Well, they can go onto their website, www.bluecardfund.org, and they just have to click on the donation tab and enter any information that they may have, and they can donate that way.
Terrific. Well, we look forward to hearing more of your success stories, your future marathoners.
Thank you.
And look forward to speaking with you again.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming to Life L'Chaim.
Thank you.
That's it for this edition. For more information on our show, please visit us on the web at tolifel'chaim.com. I'm Lee Lazerson. Thank you very much for joining us. And to Life L'Chaim.